Bong, bong.
Bong, bong.
And it works. She's live.
Ooh.
Welcome everybody to the Bodycast. My name is Copacetic, and with me today,
Pathogenic. There we go.
it works. This is, of course, the best Bosscast. This best.
Unique New York. Unique
Thank you.
New York.
This is, of course, the best podcast for the international culture of Battlerap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and all your favorite podcast platforms in the links below. So close. It's the only place for fans to go for Battlerap news from around the globe. And man, what can I say? We're gonna expedite this intro. Okay, so around the globe, fans are watching. They love us. From Australia to Canada to Africa, United Kingdom,
up to Ireland and the UK, and
that's about it.
Yep.
But they love us, and it's because they're great. And if you're watching, you're probably great too. I would imagine I'd wager if I had to bet. If I were a betting man.
Nice.
Thank you. And more intro stuff. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so here's what it is. You were here last week. You were looking for the coolest of peers? Bong bong, the coolest of peer.
Whoa!
Raise a glass. Join us now for the community cheers. Hey, cheers. Hey, cheers.
This
is the best show. Come up. This is the best show. Thank you for joining us, and you're welcome, obviously, for us all being.
Can we actually take a second, because this is my first time experiencing this, and you're looking for the coolest of peers, bong bong, and the coolest of peer. That's actually the coolest fucking
right
intro.
I stumbled on that shit. Just eat your heart out, Shuffle T. So yes, obviously at this time, it would be a good reminder to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and click. I feel like I just said Twitter, Instagram, and all that shit. I gotta streamline this, but I'll press like and subscribe. Yeah.
Do those things.
Thanks. We're going to talk about Canada today. You know, we had a last episode with Dysfunctional. It was really dope having Diz jump in. We talked about Canada at length. And fuck, man, so much shit is happening in Canada. We got a lot to cover. Also, the UK, there's a lot of stuff happening in the UK we sort of missed because of our Canadian coverage. We're best. And then I think if it works out, we'd love to do a big Australian episode next week, because boy howdy, they are dropping like drop bears at a eucalyptus tree, mate.
Boy howdy.
Boy howdy. Those Australian cowboys, very rare. So you know, I mean, there's so much to do and so much to talk about, but I think that it makes sense to start where pretty much everybody's focus is and everybody's attention is. Crazy Battle of the Bay X announcements this past week, including the main event, which is crazy. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do Battle of the Bay X, and then we'll use that as a way to transition into Canada.
Beautiful. Works for me.
That's very professional. Yeah, so I mean, Battle of the Bay X, you're expecting, like, who are some great grind time guys that you would love to see back? I was hoping they would tap A-Class. What were you gonna say?
I was hoping Fresco was gonna make the return.
Oh, Fresco would have shut down the internet if they.
Yeah, it really would have.
You know, I don't even know who you put them against, but yeah, Fresco would have been it. That would have been the one. Man, and you know what's interesting is, like, if this kind of event doesn't get Fresco back, fucking nothing will.
Yeah. I mean, Diz did say that he's there's so many people that do want on that he's doing like Battle of the Bay 10 Part 2.
Totally. So who knows? But if Fresco was one of those people, 100% he would be in attendance. So
Oh,
maybe he will show up. But you know what else I wanted to, just because it's fun and this is a fun game that Dizaster started by bringing all these guys back. But I would love to see Dirt back. Remember Dirt? Dirt was great from the Goon Platoon. What?
Goon Platoon is classic.
Right? I was a big Goon Platoon fan. Real Talk, Dirt, Caveman Brown. I battled Caveman Brown. I did a little Goon Platoon bit about how they're the greatest. It did not go well. Those compliments, it's an acquired taste. But yeah, man, I loved those guys. Who else? Fuck, man, Dirt was really, really talented. I thought he was just crazy. His shit. Oh, Word of Play. Word of Play was super dope. Kind of obscure New England battler. I think he was friends with Foreman and Jeff and those guys.
Yes.
Back in the day. But yeah, hey.
That right there.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's going to be an unfortunate small amount of shoddy's blamming at this Battle of the Big Ten. So hopefully next time.
The last time we saw Conceited was when?
Dumbfounded?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
I think so.
And that would be such a grind timey thing. But okay, so like that aside, they did announce Nestle is coming out of retirement.
Yes.
That's a big one.
That's huge.
That's enormous.
Thought you were gonna save that one until the last thing to be able to transition to Canada, considering
totally should have done that. As soon as it passed my lips, I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." Can you think of nothing else? What else should I have said?
What you could have said was that the main event announced, and it's pretty crazy with everybody knows battling Pedro.
Yeah,
so I'm very excited for that main event.
Facts. What? So crazy. What?
In actuality, it is actually pretty crazy.
It's ridiculous.
That's really fucking.
I don't know what I care more about, Diz versus Easy or Pedro versus. Like, I am a fucking huge fan of both of those guys. Those are guys who say something really cool that you've never heard before every time.
This is a little bit of story time, but it does tie in. The first time that I battled internationally, I went to the States. I battled on No Coast in their Minnesota. It was in Minneapolis in that North Division.
Right.
And it was Everybody Knows versus Bone Man. I watched Everybody Knows freestyle an entire round about a Hawaiian pizza that he was holding. And it was the fucking funniest thing and one of the greatest things I have ever seen. That guy literally can pull a round out of thin air.
That's amazing.
And make it great and very entertaining.
That's so dope. Fuck, it's so wild. Hey, how you never know what kind of like weird obscure card you're going to be on with somebody who you've been watching for a long time, or just randomly like that. But to be able to have seen Everybody Knows live is crazy, because I don't know that he super traveled a lot. I think most of his battles are in California.
Yeah,
you're talking to my ass. But we tried to get him up to Vancouver a number of times and just didn't make sense, didn't work. But yeah, huge fan, and to have him back and against Pedro, the GOAT, some freestyling off the top of the dome, real legends in battle rap culture. Yeah, and then obviously Easy versus Dizaster. You're kind of wondering what he's gonna do in terms of, like, I thought maybe an international opponent. I thought maybe. Yo, that's so funny. You seen that too? Oh man, Robo. Back in the days, okay?
Robo was on that card too.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, when Everybody Knows freestyled about the pizza. I actually saw a lot of wild people on that card. No Coast is the best. Shout out No Coast.
No Coast is a staple for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I mean, there's a million different ways you could go with this Dizaster match. Is he battling somebody from the URL? Is he battling a big KOTD guy? Is he battling an international? Somebody maybe foreign language shit, like we saw with Assassino. And it's like, I don't know. How did you feel about the announcement?
I guessed it.
Really?
I don't know if it was the last episode that I was on here, or if it was you and I talking, or if it was to my little brother. But he was like, "Who do you think?" Somebody asked me, "Who do you think it is?" And I said, "I think it's either Real Sick or I think it's Easy." And the reason why I thought it was Easy was because there's so much buzz surrounding him right now, and that's kind of the announcement that you want. The hidden announcement is somebody big that's going to pull in eyes.
Totally.
And I think that the reason why it being Easy is such a good call on Dizaster's part for Battle of the Bay 10 is because not only is he a huge name, especially now that he's separated from URL, battled Hitman, all of that kind of stuff. But additionally, he's going to pull a bunch of URL eyes onto Battle of the Bay 10 that would not have normally been like, oh, I really got to see Pedro and Everybody Knows. Or, even the 2v2 with Clips and DNA and Dumbfounded and Satire. There's only so many URL eyes that are going to be brought over to that. So bringing Easy brings an entire new demographic of fans to that sort of GTX scene,
right.
and watch battles that they might not have ever been like, nah, I'm not, nope, don't care. I'm not going to buy a pay-per-view for that, but they will buy it to see Easy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Go ahead. No, yeah, I think you're totally right. And it even feels very appropriate for the Grind Time brand. When you think about Grind Time, it's like, yeah, this is something that was like cross-cultural. It wasn't like, this is for everybody. There's something for everybody. There's, like you said, Pedro, Everybody Knows, and then Easy, Block Captain.
Yeah. No, I think that it's great. It's going to be a great battle. I think that this will probably be the toughest battle that Easy has had. If we're talking about a fully I don't want to say prepared, because it's not like Diz is ever not prepared. I mean, like, fully motivated Dizaster is not the kind of battler that Easy's ever gone up against.
Yeah.
So I think this will be a challenge for him to make it through this battle.
Yeah, and I think Dizaster's in a different mind state now too, as well. When you think about a lot of the comments that I'm seeing are, oh, Dizaster's going to say a bunch of gibberish really loudly, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's never really been his style, but like that's been the knock on him. But if you look at his most recent battles, like the last 2-3 years, like Danny Myers, Cali Smooth, Assassino, like he's taking it super serious. Yeah. Like his fucking battle rap passion index meter is off the charts.
Yeah.
It's definitely dangerous. Totally. They're 90-second rounds? Get out of here. Is that a joke? That's not real, is it? The longest 90 seconds of your life. Okay. Let's keep it real. Shit is not going to. We got to keep it moving. We got a whole bunch of shit to talk about this show.
We've got 90-second rounds on this show.
Facts. An important one. No, we're going to do this one first. Okay. The big one is Nestle. Nestle coming back. I don't know if there's another announcement that I missed, but I don't think so.
Well, there was a couple.
Right.
There's Fredo and Unanimous, and
oh yeah, that's cool.
And I don't know. Did you guys cover? Oh no, never mind. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit as well.
We didn't talk about Battle of the Bay X at all last episode, even though we put it in the title.
I almost pulled a U and said something that'll probably transition later.
Okay.
Don't do that. Now. So I'm drawing zero attention to it, and no one will know that.
Great. Perfect.
So Nestle returning.
Yeah. I mean, so Nestle's my top 5 all time. I don't know this. It's not a competitive style of battle rap. I think we talked about this too when he battled A-Ward. It's a entertainment based style where he's just going to say really cool shit. He's going to rap it really well. And it's just great roasting, great just well-roundedness. So yeah, I'm a huge Nestle fan. For him to come back against Ellipsis, like, wow. Everybody's talking about this one. This is one that definitely, when it was announced, you could see getting picked up by people who pay attention to battle rap, people who care about battle rap. They care about, like, it's just so cliched. This is for the real fans. This is for the ones who care about lyricism. But like, no, but like, yeah, but like the rappers were interested, you know, the fucking really top tiers. They're like, this shit is going to be crazy.
Dizaster said, and I quote, that this could be battle of the night.
Which is such a wild,
one of the biggest cards
for real
ever.
That's some crazy shit to say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, Ellipsis is going to be good. I think, you know, there's, you look on Reddit and you see you guys' comments on your guys' battle. There's still pushback. And I don't know what it has to be for Nat. I think he's the best. I think he just, his writing is immaculate. And it's just like, this is what this is. This is what battle rap is. What can you concoct in your mind? What sorcery can you come up with to absolutely decimate your opponent? And like, you guys had a war. I don't feel like you got destroyed or anything like that. But his shit is just, it's the highest level of killer material. It's so packed. It's so dense. There's so much replay value.
He's got the kind of stuff that you need to look at every single line and figure stuff out with. You know, I've got a couple, yeah, my internet's being so fucking weird lately. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I was saying he's got the kind of stuff that you got to look at every single line because there's probably something in there. Even like the lines that you don't think have anything, they're probably leading to something. Yeah. And they have some other form of meaning.
Mm-hmm. And he's been doing it for a long time too.
A really long time. And I think the thing that gets overlooked the most about Ellipsis, and especially the way that he writes, is there are extrinsic extras that you don't anticipate that add to the impressiveness of what he said. In his third round, for me, 3/4 of it is using the exact same rhyming pattern. It's not the usual one that he had, the laurel wreaths, war and peace, Panzer engine type. But when he's talking about, I think it's hidden passages. I think that's the rhyming phrase. And winged battalion, pin medallion, hidden passages, that whole sort of rhyming phrase he uses almost throughout the entire round. And so you're talking about a guy who is not only connecting all of these ideas together, but he's coming up with crazy punches about each one. And he's using it all in the same rhyming pattern, which if you add all those layers together, we're talking about one of the best pens ever.
Yeah. In the way that you're constructing it, the construction is extremely solid. There's multiple layers. There's so much going on. You know, awareness, colloquialisms, setting, pacing.
Yeah.
This is somebody who's been operating at a high level for a long time and keeps getting better. And it's like, yeah, I want to see what he does on that big stage in front of everybody. I can't remember the last time he was on a big stage, because like he's done battles with us that I don't think that counts really. There was the World Dom where
I was going to say him and Quill.
He beat Quill, yeah, World Dom, but that was a long time ago actually.
Something tells me that might have been the last time he was on like a air quotations big stage.
We know what that is. We know what that is. But yeah. It's going to be amazing. Super awesome. And
I'm beyond excited for Nat.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. So
now
he was a good friend of mine before.
But you know how
he says it in our battle, even that I attribute a lot of where I am based on his guidance early on, him sort of pointing me in the direction of, you got to do this a little bit more and do a little bit less of that and focus more on this sort of aspect. So I don't think I'd be here without him sort of guiding me in that direction. He's a great guy. He is an unbelievable battler. And I think that this is so deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can't wait for him in Ness.
Yeah, definitely. Well put. That's definitely it. Sums up all my feelings. So then the next announcement, which is also pretty crazy, is that our very own Coleslaw from Vancouver, Canada, uh, is going to be on the card battling Caustic. And like, wow, what?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Coleslaw versus Billy Shakes dropped on Set the Bar this week, and Dizaster was there and he saw it. And Coleslaw is impressive female battler if you're just catching up from Vancouver. And she's really talented. She's really a breath of fresh air. She's very innovative and unique. And more unique than being a fucking girl in battle rap. Am I right? It's so weird because we're calling this episode Canadian Women, and I thought, it's kind of, why do we want to focus on the women in Canada? But when you think about it, there are no active female battlers in the UK right now that I'm aware of.
Lizzie C.
Oh, fuck, Lizzie C. Well, technically she's not in the UK. But Australia, like it's female battlers. It's sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. But I think definitely the spotlight is deserved right now. We've got a young talent in Coleslaw who's learning the ropes. She's a very well-studied and respectful young battle rapper who's trying to soak up as much as she can. I think Dizaster recognized that she doesn't have the same, the same bounds or inhibitions that regular battlers might have just based on the culture and how it sort of like shapes your thought, which is really refreshing. I think that's really cool. The shit that she did versus Billy Shakes was amazing. I was there live, but I missed her third round, so I finally got to watch it now, and I just fucking was howling. It's so funny.
Pretty funny, hey?
Yeah, she's talented. It's really great. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool for Dizaster to recognize that, and
I think it's fantastic. Not only did he recognize it, I mean, he could have put her down the bunny hill, but he didn't. He said, "You're on day one, and you're going up against a very well-known name. A draw in his own right." And so he gave her a big opportunity and a big challenge against Caustic, which I think is great. And it's a testament to how unique Coleslaw is. I've when it was announced, there's always people that are talking back and forth, and they're like, what did you think of Coleslaw getting that opportunity? That might not necessarily view her ready or deserving of it just yet. But the thing that you got to remember is that she's one of one. There's only one Coleslaw. Like you said, being a female is already unique enough when it comes to the battling scene here in Canada. But additionally, on top of that, she stands out as there are not any other battlers like her. Who is she competing with that she needs to be better than to get an opportunity or look like? She just needs to be herself.
Yeah.
And she is that. And she's also driven and has the want to be in that position. And so you're combining somebody who has the raw talent that's there and wants to be in those big positions and is getting that opportunity given to her, where a lot of us maybe not have had that.
Sure.
And so I don't know. I think that this is perfect. It is 100% deserved, and I can't wait to see what she does.
Yeah. Really interested to see what she does. This is definitely
I really hope that Caustic doesn't just phone it in and take her light, because she might smoke him. If he takes the light and just doesn't give a fuck, she might actually smoke him.
I'd be really shocked if that happened. I feel like, and this is just my vibe, I don't know anything, but I feel like they're going for a Q Shinobi, or they're going for a like, hey, we're gonna fucking really show you what battle rap's about. And it's great because I think she's very primed for that. I think that she's not an innocent lamb. She knows what she's getting into. You see the battle with Billy Shakes. She's well aware of the depravity of battle rap circles and the intensity and the extremes and what's necessary in order to entertain the crowd and bring that level of competition. I don't know what's gonna happen, man, but I just, yeah, I think you nailed it. She's really different. She's really unique, and these kind of opportunities are only gonna help. They're only gonna help, you know, grow her passion, and I think she's gonna have a fucking ton of fun. It's just gonna be a great time with some of like the best minds in battle rap. That's so good, so helpful for us in Vancouver too, to have more of our guys experiencing that. Guys, use that term, you know, metaphorically, loosely. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah. So it's gonna be great. Battle Debate X, and in that way, we're going to transition. Wow, look at that. Very smooth. To yeah, Coleslaw versus Billy Shakes was the latest drop from Sythe. And she had another one. No, she didn't have another one drop. What am I thinking of? Did she battle someone else? No, she didn't battle someone else.
Nope.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Canada's great. What was the transition? Did you have one?
Well, I was going to say that since we did already sort of touch on Canadian women in battle rap, we could transition to another event that's happening on August 12th, same day as Battle of the Bay 10, and that is Breakthrough 2. We've got a few more announcements on there, not necessarily a Canadian woman, but a woman versus grid, which is going to be happening. Coffee versus grid.
Right. Breakthrough 2, really great. The announcements, definitely.
This was a different transition than COVID was expecting.
There's that one, but also, let's go back to Canadian women. Let's wrap that up.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay. So yeah, this is a very well planned show, obviously. The other thing that is super interesting at the same time as Coleslaw getting this big look on Battle of the Bay X is young lady by the name of Lil Ma out east, who has been sort of battling on CRB and I think Beast Mode. Am I wrong? Beast Mode and cards that are around that.
I don't know if Lil Ma's been on Beast Mode, but I know that she's been on Bars of Death.
Bars of Death. Yeah. So she had 2 battles drop this week. And it's like, that's very prolific. Yeah. So, and it was versus Pac-Man on CRB and versus AJ on Bars of Death. Mm-hmm. Man, you know, like, I think I've seen little clips of her here and there, but I watched, you know, been talking with her, and I watched her versus Koichi, and I watched her versus somebody else recently, and then these 2 battles with AJ and
Pac-Man.
And I gotta say, man, you know, there's something about her that is really like very battle rappy. I don't know how else to put it. Like, she's really in the mix. She's not like trying to remember her shit, or she's not trying to like be overly technical or like say a bunch of, you know, use a bunch of alliteration or be overly verbose. She's funny, and she roasts, and she cooks, and she a little bit of real talk, but it's sort of always based in humor and belittling. I just think it's chef's kiss shit. And I'm gonna go even further. I think she's getting better too. I think she's 100%. Getting quicker, and yeah,
100% she's getting better. I sent her a message after her and AJ came out because I watched it, and there is a noticeable difference in that battle comparatively, even to Pac-Man. And I thought her and Pac-Man was better than the previous one. She is getting better every single time, and I think that it also comes with confidence.
Sorry, I just remembering this shit. It's so funny. Sorry. Yes, confidence.
Right. She's more confident now. Her and AJ, you can see it where she's confident in what she's saying. She knows that what she's saying is going to be funny. And when you get to that point, it's like with anything in life, right? It takes you an hour to do a job, but it only takes you 30 minutes if you're confident in what you're doing and you're not second guessing everything you say or not sure if this is going to hit or anything like that. She's really having it all come together, and she knows what she wants to say, and she knows that what she says is going to be funny.
Yeah. It reminds me of like Poe Rich style. Like, you know, sort of walking the place, everybody likes me. I'm gonna say some shit loud and everybody's gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
I was just, it's always interesting too to see how women handle battle rap, because when it's a bunch of guys would say terrible shit to each other, but when you introduce women, it's like, what sort of lines are going to be crossed here? What's like, what are we, is she prepared for how stupid this is about to get? And she's just like, she just feels like not a fish out of water at all. She just feels like very comfortable, like you said, just happy to throw it around wherever. I don't know what I'm saying now, but like, happy to throw it around, man. Happy to throw it around. I just thought it was great. Watch the battle with Pac-Man. Watch the battle with
AJ.
With AJ. What's the shit? Pac-Man was saying vehemently that he would not have sex with her. Pac-Man, if you're in a battle with a woman and you spend the majority of your round talking about how you don't want to have sex with her, it's a little suspect. It's a pro tip.
Yeah. Coincidentally, AJ could have said how he could have said that he doesn't want to have sex with her for a whole round, and everyone would have been like, "Yeah, that makes sense." For almost the same reason.
It was so great. Really entertaining stuff from the East Coast of Canada, and just wanted to make sure that she gets her flowers. Canadian women in battle rap.
I think that's you just said. There is a key point in all of this is something that I'm noticing a lot with Canadian battle rap is entertainment. It seems like that's starting to make its way back into things. It's not just 3 straight rounds of how I'm going to beat you up or murder you in all these different ways, or 3 straight rounds of, entendres about your name or this or that. There's a lot more entertainment now in it as well that makes it fun to watch the whole way through. And I think that's what battle rap needs, is it needs that on top of everything that I said. There needs to be a fine balance of everything.
Right. But yeah, you're right.
There needs to be guys that do a little bit more and a little bit less of each of those things too, so that when it is balanced, it's a lot more noticeable.
Totally. You're perfectly describing the dichotomy of battle rap, and how we used to have that in Vancouver, where we'd have Smoked Out and you'd have King of the Dot. And you go to the Smoked Out, you'd have a lot of fun. There's a really good vibe, amazing vibes. The King of the Dot, the vibes were a little bit more serious. It's still a good time, but there's a little bit more, and just to, like, you can see in the footage, just everybody is chill. The vibe is really good. People are having a really good time. Yeah, word life. Shouts out to my mom in the chat. Bang bang. But yeah, no, great stuff from them, and really cool to see this new league, Bars of Death. I know they've been doing stuff online, but
yeah, a few live events in a row now, and this next one's shaping up to look like a pretty big one.
Let's do that. Bars of Death announces Jo versus Machete Trevi.
Glock party.
Oh, it's the Glock Quebecois in the house. And okay, obviously I'm enormously excited for another Machete Trevi battle, because huge fan of his. His style's so effortless. He's one of those fucking assholes who like just picks up battle rap and is instantly good. Like Laughing Stock. Laughing Stock is, if you watch his first battle, it's as good as his last battle. It's super annoying. But Trevi is just, effortlessly good. And I think a lot of the time it's about finding the motivation for him. And Jo is one of the best in the country. Hands down, no question. Had a great battle with Cortez last year. Jo is one of my personal favorites out of that area. So yeah, this battle, just very excited about it.
Oh, it's going to be great. I think that, what was Trevi's last battle? It was Creative, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that makes sense.
Was a very good showing for Trevi. Well, I mean, there might have been a DMS one.
I think there was something about the DMS shit, but maybe it didn't drop or something.
Who knows
about that?
Regardless, super dope to see Trevi come back. I'm excited to hear what he has to say about Bars of Death, because if I know one thing about Trevi, it's
we cut out at the perfect time.
What did I say?
He says, if there's one thing I know about Trevi, it's you never know what's going on. Alberta, lots of oil. Not a whole lot of Wi-Fi stuff. I think what he's going to say is, Trevi is, hey, he's back. Hey, he's back. He's back. If there's one thing I know about Machete Trevi, it's...
Are we back?
Yeah, now we're back.
What was the last thing that I said?
If there's one thing I know about Machete Trevi, it's...
That's hilarious.
I know, right? It's so good. It was perfect.
So, if there's one thing that I know about Machete Trevi, it's that he is the only battler that I know that will be booked on a league and go to said league and shit on said league in front of everyone and still make everyone go, love that guy.
Great guy.
Every single time I've been on the same card as him. It's been on Smoked Out. I wasn't on the one with him at Set the Bar, but he did it at Set the Bar, and I can only imagine that he'll probably do it at Bars of Death too. So I'm excited to see what he says about
that. Good luck, because Ben, I'm just super impressed with this Bars of Death just popping up out of nowhere, and now looks like a very legitimate card. The second match they announced was Final Word versus CJA. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
And that's awesome. See, Final Word just got a look versus Mike Wild. They had a great battle. Check that out on iBattle. No, check that out on Beast Mode.
Yeah.
And now he's getting a look versus CJA, who is...
Final Word battles Johnny Knox next weekend.
Oh shit!
On CRB too.
Oh shit! True. CRB is next weekend. True indeed.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of shit happening. Good for Final Word. He's got a busy year.
Making a push, that man.
He sure is. Will he make the Canadian top 10 list that everybody is very keen on seeing? You got 6-7 months, guys. Let's get it going. 6-7 months, because if you do some shit in like December or January and we're not finished the list by like February, you're probably going to get, so keep that in mind.
You do some shit in January, we don't finish it until March.
You do some shit.
Nobody even sees it until July, apparently.
Right? I mean, let's be real.
We did multiple episodes on that fucking list. Nobody talks about it until now.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works. Lists. But yes, also CJA. So great stuff. Bars of Death. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go subscribe to their everything, whatever. But really cool to see. Hi, Pup. And there he is, having a little snooze. Hi, Pup. Hi. Good boy. Yeah, sure. Good boy. Yeah, so views shot through the roof. Yeah. Is CJA, speaking of CJA versus Final Word, he just had a battle drop versus Bar J on Set the Bar, which is really dope too. Oh, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all this shit. So Bar J versus CJA, did you end up seeing that? You were there. I mean,
yeah, I've seen it a couple times now.
Okay. Yeah, I want to just briefly touch on it, because Bar J's had a sort of an interesting journey, where he gets sober and really takes control of his life. He obviously loves battle rap, obviously puts his heart and soul into it. And he finally got a really big opponent headlining an event earlier this year or last year versus Andre Anthem. Mm-hmm. And Andre sort of fucking no-showed and choked. He showed up, but he did not show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he might as well have no-showed.
And it's sort of like, Bar J, he works really hard. He's great selling tickets, and he understands battle rap. He's very entertaining, very funny, got a ton of energy. So you kind of want to see him keep taking these steps and keep pushing and keep grinding. And so CGA was a really big look for him because CGA is very well known. He's very established in the international community of battle rap. And he's great. So CJ is fucking great. Love him. Friend of the show.
You're not gonna find a better hype man than CJA.
It's the best. He's the best.
He's just a great vibe to have at any event that you're at. 100%.
Facts. Book him for the vibe. 100%. So I thought that this was much better on camera. I thought live I had a lot of trouble paying attention, and on camera I was just getting a lot more. I don't know if it was the angles or something like that. Maybe live I suck. Maybe I suck as a fan live. But I had way more fun watching it back in the video.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great on the watch back, both couple times that I've seen it now. We got to keep in mind too here that the amount of shit that happened to CJ before he even made it to be able to battle is crazy. And I can't remember how much sleep he was running on for that event, but the fact that he managed to still put on, I think he had one tiny slip, 95% after what he went through is impressive to say the least.
It's wild. Yeah. When you see people fighting it, he doesn't look like he was fighting it. He looked like he had like one or two little things, but he looks like he was powering through it. And his style is so conducive to that, think on your feet, your mom's a carny. She was. Your mom was a carny. Brings the house down. It's so great to just be in the moment. People love to feel like they're witnessing something that wasn't planned. So his style really lends to that beautifully.
Yeah, and I think that Barjay really expanded his normal repertoire of what you would see from him. He didn't necessarily do a full angle, but he did a really great concept round about his ADD. In his third, I think he had a lot of funny things that were meant to be used for CJ and CJ alone, which is great. It was good to see that uptick in his ability to construct a round and still keep the humor that he normally would.
Yeah, totally. You can see his devotion to it. Like regardless of what you like about Barjay or don't like about Barjay, you can see that he's trying so hard. He's trying to be well-rounded. He's trying to bring bars, he's trying to bring funny jokes, he's trying to bring the multis. I think he's just that battle was so great for him because you can see he's really pushing himself, and that over time it'll be second nature. It'll be something where it's just
100%. I think that this is the battle that does for him what it needed to. Yeah. Right. I think that this has sort of solidified him as a name on Set the Bar.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the guys.
He's one of the guys now.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that people won't be like, oh, Barjay versus CJ. I don't know how that's going to go. CJ 3-0. Right. You've moved from that point to now when a name comes into battle Barjay, it's going to be like, yeah, I think that, Barjay might take this. This is going to be a really great battle, or it's going to be closer or something like that.
He's going to give it his all, and that's his hallmark. That's his calling card. But he can't not do that. I think that's the thing too, is that whatever comes up next for him, he's got to keep pushing, keep trying. And it's not going to work if he takes that style and does it half-assed.
Yes.
So, really excited to see. Really good for him. Good drop. Check that out. There were a few other drops from Canada we just want to cover. Oh, fuck. I didn't see A1 versus JO. Shit, that was on my list.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I think that was 2 weeks ago, too. I'm way behind.
Yep.
Good battle.
So, it dropped. It dropped the day before Ellipsis and I did. So it was like 7 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice of you. But you liked it. Good battle.
It was a great battle. Yeah. Cool. I thought that obviously it was on the charity card for Skeevious Tips, and so when it comes to the ambiance of the event, sometimes you might not necessarily get a heated battle, but I thought that it was very well done. Jo showed again why he's one of the most underrated in Canada, and I think that A1 added a lot to his style that went very, very well for him. Taking the very complex writing that he normally would have and tailoring some jokes out of it was fabulous. He was very funny, which isn't something that you would normally see. And I don't know if it was because of the scope of the event itself, but whatever put him in that, I'm going to throw a couple jokes in here bag. I liked that. That was very, very good. And again, I feel like a broken record though when I'm on here talking about battles, because I really like the ups and downs of, here's some jokes, here's some crazy bars, here's some jokes, here's some crazy bars. Funnily enough, because I'm battling Apex and he plays baseball, I consider it like keeping a hitter on their toes. With a pitcher might, you throw a fastball, it's 98, you throw a changeup, it's 88. By changing speeds, you keep everyone on their toes, not knowing what's going to come next. And it always surprises them when you do that. And so by throwing in jokes, then throwing in the typical crazy bars and haymakers and crazy writing, it sort of has everyone going, like this. And yeah, it was a great battle.
Holds their attention. That's so important. And it's such an overlooked aspect, especially for beginners and people who are just getting into this. A lot of people are thinking just write as many bars as I can. You really have to play with people's expectations. You really have to, be dynamic with your volume, be dynamic with your writing, with your thoughts, how you're taking them, storytelling, all that shit, to keep people engaged. It's a lot harder than it sounds. It's obviously easier to talk about than it is to do. But, when I think about you, Ellipsis, G-Show, Arcane, Joey,
Pep,
Trevi, people who can like consistently pull the audience in and get them to react. My battle versus Matter, I felt like I was getting good reaction the whole way through, consistently through. That wasn't a problem for me. I'm very unpredictable. Let's be real. But it's such an important element to keeping people's attention. And so,
I'm sitting here thinking you might benefit from a little bit more predictability, in all honesty.
Yeah, touche. We got some shit. Beast Mode's last slap battle also just dropped 2 days ago. So I guess I haven't seen that VO versus Santo. I will definitely check that out. Slap battle. I think I saw that on Facebook maybe. But we will peep that and probably cover it in the next episode. We did the entirety of Canada today, like for real. John Doe versus Day was another battle from
Bars of Death.
Bars of Death. Yeah, thank you. Great guys. I like to see their development.
Day has battles dropping all the time, so I have a hard time, keeping track with where it is.
Day in, day out.
Just putting in work.
For real. And that's like, okay, that's amazing. That's Canada. Canada, you're done. We left all of 5 minutes for the UK, but that's cool because there's so much happening. The UK, right.
I want to say first and foremost, shout out to Briggsy and Stroh for what happened yesterday with Undisclosed 9. And still, like they did a live stream of some of it on their Instagram, and they made it free for people to come in and gave refunds on the tickets, which is, not enough good things can be said about Prem in the way that Briggsy and Shoddy run that league over there. They are absolutely fabulous. And so salute to them for still having a lot of fun and a great event with the 3 battles that did end up happening.
Yeah, lots of cancellations, pullouts. People don't know.
That was a 9 battle card, I believe.
and they had 6 battles not go down, some last minute. And there's lots of stuff about that we're not going to get into. But yeah, shouts to them for persevering. That's always devastating as a promoter. But it's such a cool card. And, you know, Slester, Frost, Gas Buff, Grazza, there's going to be some cool battles to come out of it, I think. Those 2 battles happened.
Frost right? and Weavers.
Oh, what did I say?
Slester.
Oh yeah, fuck. Sorry, I was thinking
was supposed to battle
Scotland.
Carter Deems. Right. That's what I was. So I was trying to figure it. I was like, I don't think that's what it was.
It's very confusing, but thank you. Yes. Keep us on path. Gas Buff versus Carlton Shanks dropped. It was good. If you're a big Gas Buff fan like me, that's his first L ever, I think, by his own admission. But I think it's a lot closer than he or anyone else thinks. I don't know.
I thought it was a good battle.
Yeah, I thought Carlton did great. I was so impressed with him.
I think that he falls victim to this happens. This happens frequently in battles when you have somebody that is great or at least good most of the time, and they have a down period. That battle where they're great again makes it look like they're way up here, which is probably why Gast is feeling like it's not as close as it is, because when you're used to somebody not being as good as they once were and they come back to that level, it looks amazing. And you're going, wow, that's crazy. They did so fucking good. They might have only done as good as they normally would have done.
Yeah.
But when you're coming off of a low back to a regular level, it gets blown up even further.
Yeah. It's expectation.
Totally. And I'm not saying that to take away from Carlton, because I think it's fantastic that he's back at that level that he should have stayed at always.
Yeah. Super strong.
I'm really happy to see him back in that regard too.
Yeah. Hopefully that's something that's more consistent and he sticks around, because I saw him at the event too. He came to the Don't Flop event, and cool guy. Most of those guys, just cool guys, cool people. Mm-hmm. But yes, both of those 2 headlining main events from the Don't Flop, one of those days events, the 1-rounders, Black Tea versus Dialect dropped. Whew. So people get to see, we're talking about with Dialect and how crazy he is. And Black Tea was good. Dialect was like legendary. Like Dialect is so fucking. You saw that shit? Did you end up watching it?
Yep.
Yeah, man. His rapping, his punching, and then the flow, obviously, but his joking too. He was really funny. I don't know.
It was great.
Yeah.
No, it was great. It was cool to see, again, that kind of. This is a similar vein to what I was just saying, but when guys aren't around for a long period of time and they make a return, it's also like that. And then they also have to fight off okay, well, now you just got to match what the scene is like now, right? A guy like Solcon, if Solcon came back against Diz and was not, back where he used to be and had just done what a normal battle would have done, everyone would have been like, oh, this is crazy. Solcon came back. It was insane. It was this good.
Yeah. So true.
So that happens.
Yeah. Facts. Robo, but here he is years later and we're talking about him. So doing something right.
Robo.
Facts. Shouts out to Pokemon Go. So yeah, great point. Dialect.
Basically, the point I was trying to make, sorry, I guess, because I never really finished on that. Dialect came back with no rust and did what he normally does, and because he had taken a break, it was very impressive to see him come back and still be like, "Look, I still got it." So
yeah, and he's a young guy too. Like he's extremely talented, extremely good rapper, and doing all sorts of shit. So hopefully he sticks around.
Yeah.
Then yes, Me versus Matter dropped, which is great. I love Matter. I'm a huge Matter fan. He had some shit for me. I feel like he was serious versus me. Like he did, I'm coming up on 10 years of battling now, which is crazy to say, but never once has somebody no-showed. never once has somebody underprepared. I got everybody's best performance. Like I can't think of every single time. Nobody's choked against me. Nobody's really even stumbled. Shine 9 stumbled against me. Shine 9 had a pretty bad choke against me, actually. Okay. Never mind. But aside from that, like fucking 10 years of battling people 2 or 3 times a year, and everybody comes. Nobody wants to lose to the Puppets guy. And it's been great. I'm just grateful, you know. If the battle sucks, that's my fault. That's cool, you know. It's like as long as I'm good, battle's gonna be good. So shouts out to Matter being great. He said some fucking stupid shit. I just loved it. The only time I say a boot is wearing high-waisted shoes was so dumb. So dumb. Oh my god. I'm laughing about that months later.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was really.
Don't you love when somebody says something to you that sticks in your head and you proceed to still say it and it makes you laugh? For the last week, I've been saying 2 popes.
That was so funny. Oh shit, me. Yo, that whole pope bit was great. Man, so just good vibes all around. Him and Dialer too. I got to kick it with them afterwards. And just super top tier, cool people. Very, very chill. Very good vibes. Salted earth. At first, I was worried that when he asked who I wanted to battle, that I chose somebody who was like, oh, this guy's gonna be fucking. I don't know if there's a right answer to that, but I think the way that it all turned out, it was fucking beauty. Yeah, so that's Don't Flop. Don't Flop's back. They just announced their 15th birthday. The announcements they've been having for their 15th birthday is crazy. And let's just be also clear that 15 years as an active league in Battlerap is insane.
That's huge. That's huge.
Right? Like that's a count on one hand. What, URL, KOTD, No Coast, Don't Flop? Is that it?
Yeah. Technically, grind time doesn't count because there was a huge period where it wasn't there.
Yeah, but grind time could still have like a 15th birthday, which is funny. But yeah, no, it's just enormous, obviously, and you know, cares very deeply about it. He's made an amazing card, Gemini versus Quill for the title. Put with the ones that were announced, Lefty versus Uno Labos.
Yep, and then it was Crow and Emerson Kennedy, and Frankie Fraser and Thesaurus.
Which is great. Which is so great for Frankie. You know, just fucking love that to pieces. You know, that's probably on his bucket list.
It is, and it has been for a while. I know you've seen him on Twitter probably as much as I have. He's been saying how he wants to battle Saurus, and there's that great picture of the two of them when they're much, much younger than they are. You know, he really, really looks up to it, and this is one of his ones.
Yeah.
So it's
just warms the heart.
Yeah, that's the stuff that makes me excited to see a battle. I will say until the end of time that battlers who are supreme fans of one another will always put on better battles than two guys that don't like each other and it's a grudge match.
Yeah, that's becoming more and more clear. I think especially since Dizaster was talking about it, how he doesn't want to put any negative energy into his battles anymore. Just sort of like, all the battles with my friends are my fucking best battles.
Yeah.
So
I think that my best battle that I've ever done is technically me and Ellipsis.
Oh.
And that's me and Ellipsis and me and XQZ, and they're both my friends, and I both really respect them.
So pro tip, your best battle is your most recent battles. So that's always good.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's always good too. Here's to making friends and yelling insults at them.
Sometimes basically what we're trying to say is if you're looking for the coolest of peers, bong bong the coolest of peer.
Oof, sheesh. Say that. So Soul's my ghostwriter, let's be real. But yes, just wrapping up the UK, Kingsley Thunder had a great match with Bob Barker, dropped from iBattle. Go check that out. Kingsley Thunder. And Unanimous versus Fredo was announced for GTX, which we didn't talk about, but we sort of did, but we didn't really. Which is cool and super fun and is going to be really interesting because Unanimous is fucking snapping right now. So we'll see if Fredo can keep up. Because Unanimous versus Mackenzie just dropped as well, and that's fucking insane battle.
Great. Yeah. Catch Yunan and Jinx in Scotland
next weekend.
Is that next weekend or at the end of the month?
Yeah, it's next weekend. And Acre versus 6'3". We don't know 6'3", but Acre is a fucking murderer. And then Messi 13 versus Whispers dropped. There's a little one runner that the Trenches did. I don't know if you ended up catching that one, but did you see that one? Did you do all your homework?
No, I missed that one.
Thank you. Right? That was really impressive.
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Versus Revelant way back in the day. It's a throwback. That was the footage that was sent to me. It was like, check this guy out and see if you want to fucking have him on your card. I was like, seems okay, whatever. Fine.
No puppets.
Shouts out to Ryan Viafora, my guy. I think Ryan Viafora is on the GTX card, and he's the only other battler on the planet who has done puppets with me. So we have a kinship like this. We're good buddies. Yeah, Messi 13 versus Whispers was great. Messi 13 is really cool. He has a bunch of cool punches, cool shit. He's getting a ton of reaction, and you're like, damn, he's really fucking going at Whispers, the new kid, and then Whispers just explodes. And he's just so dynamic, and the shit he's writing is so cool, and
energy for days.
I don't know how to stop that shit. You feel like it was the same thing with Cali Smooth and Dizaster. I remember watching Cali Smooth go into Dizaster. I was like, whoa, he's fucking going at Dizaster. And then Dizaster does his thing. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Do not want to stand in front of that. My God. So shouts out to those guys. Shouts out to the Trenches. Throwing big cards, dropping shit all the time. I think they dropped another thing while this podcast is recording. We're supposed to do a short episode this week. I'm sorry. We're just fucking running through shit. But do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
Not overly. Check out if you're not gonna, if you're in the area, make sure you show up to Pathogenic versus Apex on August 12th. Go watch me in Ellipsis. Go watch me in XQZ. That's all I got.
That's your homework at home for you. Yeah, we were going to talk about Africa, but there's just no time. And really, maybe we'll do an Africa, Australia episode next week because Africa's got some cool shit going down, and I don't want to fucking skip over it. Shouts out to Word on the Streets. And then, next week as well, No Coast Invasion 9 is happening. And I think that's all this, the No Coast and the Iron Bars event for next week. So
and CRB.
Oh, it's CRB. Right.
The CRB 2-day event, yeah.
So we will be covering all that next week, and we'll check in with you then. Shouts out to Verse Tracker for their events calendar and everything. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and click the like and subscribe button everywhere. Or whatever.
Do it. Hey, do it. Do you like and subscribe? Do it. What are you doing? Liking and subscribing? Do it.